On this episode of MythBusters, we're taking you out to the ball game.
I want to see you take a full swing and that beanie still stay on your head.
Legendary pitcher Roger Clemens joins the MythBusters All-Stars for a baseball special.
Fastball is like watching a dart go, man. It's beautiful.
And we reveal the physics of a ball in flight.
Sweet!
We're going to touch base with 4 big myths and answer once and for all some of baseball's burning questions. Step up to the plate with Adam and Jamie
That is a bat. That's not a broomstick.
and find out, does cork in your bat give you more clout?
That's the hit!
And can you hit a ball so hard that the hide comes clean off?
Wow.
Meanwhile, Carrie, Tori, and Grant discover if a humid ball is harder to hit.
Nice.
Woo!
And does sliding into base actually slow you down?
Wow, that looked like it hurt.
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage
Is everybody ready for diving?
and Jamie Heineman.
Gets me all worked up just looking at it.
That was beautiful!
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
That was heavy.
Joining them, Grant Imahara,
Jamie makes it look so easy when he does it.
Tori Belleci,
Somebody order some exploding pants.
and Carrie Byron.
High explosives and electricity. Woo!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. Nothing says America quite like baseball.
Baseball is one of the great common denominators of American life. When game time rolls round, there are no social barriers.
Hot dogs and home runs, base sliding, and big hits. For decades, it's been the country's national pastime. And so you guys figured it'd be the perfect arena for the MythBusters to take a swing and a myth.
You guys like baseball?
Are you kidding? I love going to the ball game.
Well, so do our fans, and they have inundated us with baseball myths to bust.
So what have we got?
Can a corked bat hit a ball further?
And what about whether sliding into base is quicker than running?
How about the one, does a dry ball go farther than a humid ball?
Exactly. And can you hit a baseball so hard, you knock the hide right off?
Sweet.
And we have got a real baseball legend to help us out.
Who?
None other than the Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens? How did we get him?
Turns out the Rocket's a fan of the show.
Well, let's play ball.
That's right, it's the MythBusters and the MythBuster. He's one of the all-time baseball greats, pitcher Roger Clemens. In a career spanning more than 20 years, the man they call the Rocket has won a World Series and taken out the prestigious Cy Young Award an amazing 7 times. He also happens to be a big fan of MythBusters. And Jamie's stammering with excitement.
I'm speechless to have the Roger Clemens here helping us deal with these baseball issues.
Later in the show, we'll study the mojo of the throw and answer once and for all the age-old question. Can a baseball really slide and curve? Or is it just an optical illusion?
I'm gonna try and give it my best out here so you can tell what this baseball actually does with these high-speed cameras.
We'll return to Roger later. In the meantime, our first baseball myth's a real corker.
Man, how great is it to have Roger Clemens helping us do baseball myths?
Yep, can't wait to see him do his stuff.
Well, our first myth is a total classic, the corked bat.
What's a corked bat about?
Here's the idea. You drill a hole in the end of a normal regulation Major League Baseball bat, you put some cork in there, you plug it back in with wood, and that bat is all of a sudden able to hit balls a lot farther.
Is that legal in baseball?
It's ever so slightly totally illegal.
Huh.
You bet it's illegal. In 2003, the baseball world was rocked when star slugger Sammy Sosa's bat split during a game, exposing a cork core. He claimed it was a practice bat he'd picked up by mistake. but Sosa was immediately ejected from the game and suspended for 7 matches.
What do you think our general plan is?
Well, we get a bunch of bats, figure out how to cork some of them, and see which one will hit a ball further.
I think we should remove the human element from this as much as we can. Let's make a machine that swings the bat at the exact same speed every time.
Yeah, and while we're at it, we need to do the same sort of thing with the ball, only we can use a cannon instead of the swinging machine.
You know what? I'm thinking that we've already built everything we need to test this myth for previous episodes. We don't need to go out anywhere. It's all right here in the shop.
Yeah, a few modifications maybe, but they'll work.
Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a MythBusters first. No blueprint diagrams, no time-consuming builds. This baseball myth will be totally off the shelf.
Cary Grant and Tori built a sword swinging rig when they were doing sword cutting a sword. That's perfect for swinging a baseball bat. And 2, Jamie and I already built an air-powered cannon.
That is so wrong.
Which is perfect for throwing baseballs at speeds well up to the supersonic range, I think. All right, here we go. I'm flicking the switch.
First, at test firing, just to blow away the cobwebs.
That's a nice download, man. That is fast.
Now, a Roger Clemens fastball fizzes towards the batter at between 90 and 100 miles per hour.
There we go.
But Adam and Jamie will go for a more average fastball speed, about 80 miles an hour.
Let's just quickly try 7 psi.
The air pressure required to do that is around 7.5 pounds per square inch.
At
7.5 psi.
here we go.
79 miles per hour. Close enough. Next, gotta get the batting rig into the swing of things.
I'm going to swing this bat on high-speed camera, and we're going to measure how fast it is and calibrate this machine so it swings the bat just as fast. All right, let me give my hands a moment to recover. And my dignity.
Take your time, buddy. We could watch this all day.
Can we move on to something else now? Let's cut to me swinging. Here we go. Cut.
Adam's clean swing clocks 62 miles per hour. That equates to air pressure of 70 psi.
Okay.
All they have to do now is cork some bats. But baseball authorities don't want us to show exactly how that's done. And as Adam tampers with the timber, he's wondering if this whole quirky cork caper isn't a case of mind over matter.
Since 1970, 6 major league hitters have been caught using a corked bat. Kind of makes you wonder if there's something to it.
Well, the act of corking a bat does remove some weight, but if you want to swing with a lighter bat, there's nothing in the regulations that prevent you from just going and getting a lighter bat.
Then why do it?
Well, to a major league hitter, the psychological advantage may be huge. If you believe your bat has special power, you may be more likely to get that hit.
And that could be the difference between being struck out or making a home run.
Exactly.
The pitching cannon is primed, ready to fire. The bat bot is poised over the plate, all set to swing. Better stand back, because Jamie's workshop is about to become a batting cage.
And we're going to put up a net. Aren't we putting up a net? I think we're going to put up a net. And she's really good at catching balls.
Testing baseball myths with cannons and robots. Isn't that so, MythBusters?
Something's going to go someplace where it shouldn't. We're going to have mayhem and destruction one way or another. Yeah. Oh, but what the heck? It's all in the name of science.
It's the MythBusters Baseball Special, and the next myth's hot off the fan site.
I've got a really cool baseball myth. This one is all over the internet.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, the idea is if you keep your baseballs in a humidor, like the thing that you keep your cigars fresh with, that it makes it really hard to hit a home run with.
Yeah, I saw this one on our website. And according to the fans, at one stadium in particular, once they started keeping their balls in a humidor, the number of home runs went down dramatically.
For years, the Colorado Rockies' home ground in Denver had the highest home run rate in the majors. But since they started storing baseballs in a humidor, the run rate has dried up. Is there a link?
Well, to test this myth, I think first off, we're going to need to build a humidor and stick some baseballs in it.
You know what we should also do is dry out a set of baseballs so that way we have something to compare to.
So before we go to the park and start hitting balls around, I think what we should do is set up a small-scale experiment in our shop. We'll drop both the dry balls and the humid balls from the same height and see which bounces higher.
It's a good idea.
Grant's plan. A vacuum pump holds the balls at a certain height, then drops them one by one in front of a scale.
So one important thing about this myth is that we drop the balls exactly the same way every time. So we're going to be very careful about how we attach the ball to the cup, making sure to line up the stitching the exact same way. And that way we can remove some of the variables from this experiment. So, we'll have our humidified and dry balls hanging from the ceiling. And then when we want to drop, there you go.
Out in the car park, the guys set up to get the drop on this baseball myth.
You're going to be dropping from a height of 125 inches. So it's like 10.5 feet.
They'll drop 10 balls. The first 5 have spent 2 weeks locked in an old fridge with a dehumidifier, which cut humidity to just 10%.
Some good bouncing.
Yeah. These are all about 110 centimeters.
Ball 5.
Thank you.
There's no ball 5?
Not in baseball, there's no ball 5. But on MythBusters. Wow.
The high-speed camera shows the dry balls bounced an average height of 106 centimeters.
That's pretty consistent.
Great. Let's move on to the humid balls.
The other 5 balls spent the same time in a makeshift humidor. Carrie put a block of waterlogged foam in a perforated plastic container and then put that and the balls in a cooler. As the water evaporated, vapor escaped through the holes,
Seal this up.
raising the humidity inside the cooler to a damp 90%.
Humid ball number 1. Feel that. Just from touching it, you can tell that it's softer.
Can this batch scale the same dizzy heights as the dry balls?
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
After soaking up the atmosphere in Carrie's cooler, it seems the humid balls just can't bounce back. The average height of a humid ball bounce is 91 centimeters, as opposed to 106 centimeters for the dry balls. That's a difference of 14%.
Now, in your typical baseball scenario, with an outfield of, say, 425 feet, 14% is almost 60 feet, which is a difference between an out or a home run.
That was really amazing. I think it definitely warrants further investigation.
Yeah, I say we get out to the baseball field and start hitting these balls and see which ones go farther.
Well, I just don't think we'll be able to both pitch and hit consistently every time. And what we really need to do is isolate the variable of humidity.
You know what I'd also like to do? I'd like to introduce a control into this experiment. You know, a mid-range humidity that we can test against the 2 extremes.
All right, sounds good.
Now, Adam and Jamie have already got the batting machine and the pitching cannon tied up, trying to crack the case of the corked bat. So, Grant's gone one better and designed a robot that bats and pitches. Here's the deal. The robot will have 2 arms, one holding a bat, one holding a ball. A motor turns the arms, bat connects with ball, ball goes flying to the fence. It's going to be geared for raw power.
Is this our gear?
Yeah,
Dude, it looks like a saw blade.
While the beefy batting machine takes shape, the guys have been pondering the background to this major league myth.
So, how did the Rockies come up with the idea for keeping their baseballs in humidors?
It's all about altitude. Denver's about a mile above sea level, and their stadium is the highest in the major leagues. At that altitude, the air is drier.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, drier air is going to give you drier baseballs.
And as the balls dry out, they get harder, which theoretically means they'll travel further when they're hit.
You know, one other thing about the altitude is at that height, the air pressure is going to be a lot lower, which will allow the baseballs to travel farther.
Precisely.
Back in the dugout, Torrey's got a bat in place. A clamp has a pincer grip on the ball.
And it's out of here!
So I've got my motor. It's mounted to a beefy plate on the machine. It's wired up to the speed control. That goes to a safety switch, which has this key. And that goes to a bank of batteries. And I'm ready to fire it up for the first time.
The robot batter's wired up. Grant gives it the juice.
3, 2, 1.
The ball jolted free before contact. The bat smashed into the springs, really hitting a groove.
So we're gonna ditch the springs and go with some foam, some kind of rigid blue foam.
When the bat comes through, it'll hit the ball and break the foam, not breaking the bat. Hopefully this will work.
In 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Good job.
The bat is still intact.
Looks like the mad batter's ready to be taken out to the ballpark. On the MythBusters baseball special, Carrie, Torrey, and Grant have been bouncing around the myth that a humid baseball is harder to hit out of the park.
All right.
But before they go to the park, the team first wants to know what our guest star, baseball legend Roger Clemens, thinks of this tall tale.
So, Roger, I've heard something about the air in Denver that is, I guess it's drier. There's something about humid balls and baseball pitching. Tell me about it.
All I know and have heard is that the Colorado Rockies have a humidor that they store quite a few baseballs in for that reason. And I have pitched in Colorado, and it is difficult to make the ball, get your normal movement out of your breaking ball pitches.
Really?
A humid ball might be harder to pitch, but is it also harder to hit? Torrey, Carrie, and Grant are off to get some ballpark figures.
Here we are in beautiful San Jose, and look at the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because you are about to witness dry balls versus humid balls. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to use our robot batting machine, and we are going to hit 30 dry balls and 30 humid balls. And whichever goes farther takes it all home.
It's wood all the way in the big league, but in this case, an aluminum bat might better cope with the rigors of the rig.
We've got 3 sets of balls. Humid balls at 90%, dry balls at 10%, finally a control group at about 50%. Now our baseball hitting robot is situated right on home plate. It's gonna hit balls into the outfield. Torrey and Carrie will be out there with different colored flags, one for each type of ball, and they'll mark the point where the ball first hits the ground.
In their small-scale test, the humid balls had 14% less bounce. Will that result be replicated in the real world? Now, the robot worked okay in the shop, but you guys know only too well how things go on this show. It's a brand new, intricate rig with high-speed moving parts. Seriously, what are the chances of it working first time?
Okay, first we have the control at 50% humidity with the aluminum bat. 3, 2, 1. Nice!
Well, I'll be. Far from striking out, the mad batter's striking those balls as clean as Babe Ruth himself.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I'm really happy with the rig. So chic.
The guys mix it up, sending a barrage of dry, normal, and humid balls soaring into the sky.
Nice.
I love it.
Given the small scale result, my feeling is that these balls are going to go not as far as the dry balls. You know, since there's more moisture in the ball, they're heavier, they're not going to go as far, but we'll see.
This is where all the magic happens. This is the data. This is what the experiment is all about.
With no wind to affect the flight of the ball, test conditions are perfect. And already, Grant can see a pattern developing.
Yellow flags, which are the most humid balls, are closer to home plate. The control balls, which are pink, are a little bit further out. And out here in the outfield, the dry balls, which are the red flags, are the furthest out. Still too early to call, but I think this might be a trend.
That's good. They're starting to group together.
Like some medieval war machine, the rig keeps kissing leather till the ammo runs out.
There's definitely a pool of yellow, pink, and red flags. That means that the humid balls didn't go as far. Then comes the control at 50% humidity, and the furthest with a 10% humidity, dry balls all the way at the outer edge.
And that totally agrees with our small scale tests.
Yeah, it's a spread of plus or minus 15 feet.
You know, I think there's some truth to this myth, because there's definitely a pattern where the dry balls were going farther than the humid balls.
It's funny how such a small thing can make such a huge difference on the game.
Yep, there are so many variables in baseball, I think it would be hard to attribute a decrease in home runs to just humidity.
You know what's weird, though? Starting this season, Major League Baseball teams are keeping their balls in humidors.
Well, that settles it for me. This is definitely plausible.
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 Meanwhile, Adam and Jamie have been putting a cork in it. Now, the rules of baseball state that a bat must be a single piece of wood. That's how they leave the factory. But in the search for more spring, some players hollow out bats, replacing wood with cork. But does cork equal clout? I'll just let Adam explain.
The heart of this experiment is a timer. One that fires a ball, one that swings a bat. Here's how it started. I release the safety, I click this. This sends electrical signals all the way down here, follow me, to our bank of air tanks, which we built for the Pirate Special Cannon. These two solenoids are activated by that timer. They activate these valves, releasing all the air from these tanks into the bottom of this barrel, in which is one of these balls in a sabot. The ball starts traveling down the barrel. As the ball travels down the barrel, a second electrical impulse activates this quick release on a valve, which releases this bat, which is on a spring on this cylinder here, swinging all the way around. Hopefully, at the very moment the ball is leaving the barrel, hitting the bat right at the point of impact we want, capturing it on high-speed camera, knocking it out of the park, and answering our question once and for all.
The reason we're doing it this way is we need to isolate the effect of the cork. Now, if the bat is swinging at the same speed each time and the cannon is firing the ball at the same speed each time, the only variable here is the corked bat. And that should make it really obvious if the corked bat is providing extra spring.
First, a regulation uncorked bat. The cannon is lubed with lard and a baseball loaded, snug in its foam sabot. We're ready to play ball.
I'm going to fire both of these things at precisely the same second.
Okay.
The tricky part of this experiment is the timing. The ball will be flying at 80 miles per hour and the bat swinging at 60 miles per hour for a combined collision speed of 140 miles per hour. If Adam's timing is out, even by a couple of milliseconds, the two won't connect.
In 3, 2.
Strike one. Cannon and robot weren't in sync, but never fear, the game's not over yet.
High speed says that we've dialed into our correct batting speed. The mechanical bat is swinging just as fast as I was able to, 62 miles an hour. However, the ball is showing up to the party 141 milliseconds early.
Adam tweaks the timer.
I've delayed the ball by 141 milliseconds. Everybody ready? In 5, 4, 3.
This time, Adam's timing was spot on, but the ball rocketed off the bat and smashed a chunk out of the scale.
Ground ball.
Ground ball. So that may mean that this test is invalid because it hit this.
Yeah.
And we don't get a measurement of how fast the ball leaves there.
The guys reset.
Go. That's the hit!
This batting robot's really got its eye in.
That was another good hit. Yeah. Oh.
It hit one side of your shop and then the other.
Oh, there it is. It's in the armature wire.
That's great.
Now that we've seen a number of hits with a regulation bat, what the high-speed camera is telling us is that the ball is consistently leaving the cannon at 80 miles an hour, which happens to be about the speed of a Roger Clemens pitch. It's also leaving the bat once it gets hit at 80 miles an hour. The next thing we need to do is test how fast it leaves the bat when the bat is corked. If it leaves faster, that'll answer our question.
3.
That was a hit.
That was a hit.
The ball is over here.
And the bat is still there. So, with any luck, that's data. The ball is coming into the bat at about 80 miles an hour, but it is leaving that bat at half that speed, at about 40 miles an hour.
Remember, when they tested the regulation bat, the ball was arriving at 80 miles per hour and leaving at almost the same speed. Try again.
That looked like a beautiful hit. That looked like a perfect line drive back towards your welder. That's perfect. That's as good as our best one with the non-corked bat. Our earlier data points with the normal uncorked bat had the ball leaving the bat pretty much at exactly the speed it was going towards the bat at. In both of our good data sets on the corked bat, it's leaving at half the speed.
Loading your lumber with lightweight cork poses two problems. The bat might be lighter and easier to swing, but reduced weight means less energy delivered to the ball. Also, instead of adding extra spring, the cork actually absorbs some of the impact. Those two factors add up to blunted batting ability.
A ball hitting a corked bat is going to leave that bat at a slower speed than a ball hitting a regulation unmodified bat. I mean, they made this thing to hit a ball really efficiently. I don't think it warrants any modification.
Looks like this baseball myth's been knocked out of the park.
Guess what?
What?
I made a commemorative plaque for this myth.
Corked bat, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one way or another, it looks like the guys that got caught using a corked bat got themselves suspended for nothing.
Yeah, you know, while our sample size might have been small, our results were totally unambiguous.
Now, every time a ball came off the corked bat, it was coming off at half the speed that it was off of a normal bat.
Yeah, far from acting like a spring, it was a lot more like a sponge. I gotta say, this one is totally busted.
Totally. It's busted.
On this MythBusters baseball special, it's time for Rocket Roger Clemens to step up to the plate.
I might reach 90 miles an hour today for y'all.
Roger's agreed to throw his whole taxonomy of pitches for us while we shoot it with the high-speed camera from several angles, and that really ought to allow us to break down what's going on from a physics perspective with each of these pitches.
The team is hoping to use the high-speed camera to unravel the mojo of the throw. But to warm up that famous arm, the Rocket first puts some pitches in front of Adam and Jamie.
Room service is right there. It's like somebody bringing you breakfast in the morning. I'm gonna put it right there. You can't miss it. You can close your eyes and hit it. That is a bat. That's not a broomstick. Now swing like you're off. Hey, all right.
The MythBusters may be struck out, but with the Rocket firing on all cylinders, it's time to unravel the parameters of the pitch. First up, a basic four-seam fastball.
We hold the fastball in this manner, and from my understanding, this ball rotates when I let it go in this manner. With four seams, these seams will catch that wind. That ball will track.
fastball is like watching a dart go, man. It's beautiful.
Looking at the high speed, the fastball pitch does exactly what Roger said it'd do. Backspin keeps the ball on the straight and narrow as it rifles over the plate at more than 80 miles an hour. But what happens when Roger changes his grip?
Basically, if you're a fastball here, you're in this area for the slider, and you're offset, and you're basically cutting the side of the ball. It should go maybe down 4 inches and away from a right-handed hitter 4 inches. That's a true slider. There we go. You know it's good when the catcher doesn't catch it.
Roger's found perfect pitch again. The slider veers away to the right of the plate,
Curveball.
while a classic curveball suddenly dips in midair.
The curveball, again, you're using a seam, and it's basically your middle finger. You're grabbing a seam and locking down with pretty firm pressure on this finger here. This one just guides it. And it is a motion where you're throwing it like a fastball, but as you get to the release point, you turn your wrist.
Coming out of Roger's right paw, it's almost as if the ball has a life of its own.
I can see that curving, I swear.
This speed, you'll definitely see it curving.
But while the high-speed shots show us the ball swerving and dipping, they can't tell us much about how it happens. And that's why Carrie, Tori, and Grant are at NASA's Ames Research Center in San Francisco. Luckily for us, scientist Rabindra Mehta is a big baseball fan.
The beauty of our lab is that we study aerodynamics, fluid mechanics as applied to airplanes or space shuttles, but it's the same fluid mechanics, aerodynamics that's applied to baseballs or soccer balls or what have you.
So basically, you have married your two passions for
Exactly.
science and sports.
Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, so we heard that you actually have a tank where you can show us all of these things visually.
Yes, absolutely. What we'll do now is go over to this water channel where we have a baseball. As you see, it's mounted on a motor, so we're able to rotate it to show you the effects of rotation. But when you see what's going on here, I think it's going to be really cool.
To simulate airflow around a baseball, they introduce streams of fluorescent dye.
That is sweet.
While it's still, the dye flows in a symmetrical pattern around the ball. Now imagine that ball has just been fired from Roger Clemens' fist.
Oh, wow. Look how the aerodynamics change.
As it spins, the airflow is disrupted. The air pressure on the ball's underside suddenly drops.
And this ball now will have a force downwards as it's flying through the air. So this would be your classic curve ball.
Lower air pressure on the bottom of the ball makes it dip during flight. And the principle's exactly the same for each different pitch.
It is the axis of spin that determines what type of pitch it is. With a standard fastball, which is released with backspin, you get an upward lift force. With a slider, the axis of spin would be more or less vertical, and in which case the ball would tend to go towards the left because of that. Then the curveball, tumbling. Spinning about the horizontal axis makes it go down.
So our high-speed shots and NASA show that bendy baseball behavior is no myth. So what about the infamous rising fastball? Many hitters swear that some fastballs suddenly lift in midair as they hurtle towards the plate. Is that a myth?
Now, for it to rise, the lift force due to the spin would have to exceed the weight of the ball, right? That's pretty simple. Now, it turns out that for the type of conditions which we find in baseball, the maximum lift force is only equivalent to about half the weight of the ball.
Not even a pitcher as prodigious as Roger Clemens can make a baseball fly in the face of physics. Throwing a fastball that rises is about as likely as Adam and Jamie hitting home runs in the World Series.
You know, hanging out with Roger Clemens, it becomes really clear that pitching is just as much of an art as it is a science.
Totally agree. And while we were there, we had the added bonus of another myth busted.
Yep, the myth of the rising fastball. And it turns out that for the backspin to exert enough force to lift the ball, it'd have to exert more force than the weight of the ball.
Which it can't.
Which it can't.
Yeah, it might be possible with a beach ball, but not a baseball.
Busted.
Totally busted.
On this baseball special, it's time to get down and dirty as the MythBusters All-Stars take a long run-up at the slide.
All right, this baseball myth is all about the slide.
The what?
Do you watch any sporting events?
Yeah, robot combat. It's a sport.
Right. Well, you know in baseball when you see a guy run to the base and he slides into it?
Oh yes, I have seen that. But wouldn't it be faster just to run?
Well, that's the myth. A lot of people think that on bases that you can't overrun, that it's faster to slide into them.
All right. Sounds like that's worth testing.
Yeah.
The slide is part and parcel of baseball. In trying to beat the tag and hit the bag, a runner sends the kitty litter flying. But when a player hits the dirt, is the friction costing him precious time? Would it be faster to stay on 2 feet?
Okay, so how are we gonna test this?
This one's simple. We just run at the base and then we slide into the base and see which one's faster.
I got the perfect thing to time that. It's accurate down to the millisecond. I can start it when we leave one base and stop it when we tag the next.
Cool. I think we should also throw in the dive, and that's when you lunge at the base face forward and see if that one's any faster.
All right. Let's ask Jamie and see if he wants to play.
Our sporting gurus head on out to the University of Pacific's Stockton campus. Gee, they really look the part, don't they? There's just one teensy problem. None of our All-Stars can slide. But never fear, Uni head coach Ed Sprague has agreed to take on these raw recruits.
All right, I'm going to teach you on the grass so we can minimize the injuries we might have today by the end of the day. All right?
So you're planning on some injuries?
There could be some blood.
Ed spent 11 years in the major leagues, playing for 6 different teams, and is famous for hitting the winning home run in Game 2 of the 1992 World Series. But now he's really got his work cut out for him.
You want to try to take the brunt of the slide on the outside of your shin here, all right? And then on our butt. We don't want to jam our knee into the ground, and we don't want to get our feet way in the air.
Now, as we know, MythBusters often fly by the seat of their pants. So you might think they'd be naturals at this.
Oh! Get the hands up.
Yeah.
But you'd be wrong.
I can make a robot to do it.
In order to test this myth, we're gonna have to be able to slide correctly. So I say we give it a few more minutes, maybe a few more hours till we get it down right. Once we get the slide down right, then we can start testing this myth.
Eventually, the guys' slides start to look more technique and less train wreck.
All right, well, I think you guys have shown enough improvement that we're going to move on to the the dirt over here.
Blood alley, huh?
It's time to get Grant's timing rig up to speed.
So the timer is going to have millisecond resolution. There's one switch to start the sequence. And what you'll do is have your foot on this, and the second you leave, it'll start the timer. There'll be a second switch here that goes to a latching relay, and this is going to be on the bag. So when you come up and hit the bag, and it'll freeze the timer wherever it is.
Predictions?
My feeling is running to the bag, decelerating, and staying on it is going to be faster, but I could be very wrong.
Let's find out. On the first attempt, Tori will run and try and stop dead on the bag.
Ready when you are.
The instant Tori's foot leaves the switch, the timer starts. In his head, he's trying to beat a ball that's flying in from the outfield.
I'm still on. I'm still touching. What was my time?
3.624.
Pretty sure I was safe.
Tori struggled to stop his momentum.
You get going that fast, it's hard to stop. I mean, a lot of mass to go, you're stopped dead on that target.
This time, he's going to slide into base. Can he beat 3.6 seconds? Will he snap his leg off at the knee?
Nice.
Did I stop it?
Nice, you sure did.
Okay, good. Hey, what was my time?
3.572.
By sliding, Tori shaved 0.05 of a second off his previous time. It's not much, but it could be the difference between safe and out. He's lost a little bark, but the coach is happy.
That was a really good slide. He did a great job there. He went as fast as he could, and he did a really good job of keeping his feet going and sliding right hard into the bag.
Time for the other two All-Stars to do their dashes.
Nice. 4.076.
And let their hip bone slip.
It's 100 milliseconds, a tenth of a second faster.
I actually thought that was probably your best slide of the day. And that's a good hard slide right there.
4.13 seconds. Wow, that looked like it hurt. You beat your time. 3.93 seconds.
When the dust settles, the results seem to match Tori's. On test 1, the guys each had to slow their speed at the last second in order to stay upright and not overrun the base. But on the second run, they actually accelerated into the slide, and that last second speeding up shaved milliseconds off the time. It's looking like this myth might have hit the skids. But hold on, there's one other technique they haven't tried.
I'm wondering if diving is faster than sliding. And I think you've got some diving technique, don't you?
I don't know. I feel like we've contested this thoroughly. I don't think we need to do the dive.
We want to see you do the dive.
Come on, Tori, you got to take one for the team. After all, it is in the name of science.
This is your last one, so you might as well leave it all on the field.
I love your attitude. Even leave it all on the field. My blood, my teeth, maybe some bones.
Tori digs deep and eats dirt.
Where's my time?
3.626. Sad to say.
Wow.
Slower than the slide, slower than the run.
And more painful.
All right.
Look at that. Yeah! Oh, dang! You know, this myth is looking confirmed. It looks like it is faster to slide into a bag than it is to slow down and stop on it.
That's what all the data says.
Yep, the numbers don't lie. So, myth confirmed, huh?
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
We're at the bottom of the 9th on this baseball special. There's one final myth, and again, it was the subject of fan site frenzy.
What do we have?
Well, we started this episode out with a myth about the inside of a bat.
Corked bat.
Exactly. We're going to finish it off with a myth about the inside of a ball, specifically that you can hit a baseball hard enough to knock the hide off the ball while the inside itself goes out of the park.
Sounds like another classic cartoon caper. A ball is pitched at such speed and hit with such force that the stitch is split and hide is left behind. It's not a scenario pitchers enjoy contemplating.
Have you ever seen somebody hit the hide off the ball? Is it possible?
Are you saying I give up a lot of home runs? Have I ever seen the hide come off a baseball that I've thrown one in there?
Roger thinks Jamie's got a hide even asking.
I have thrown some balls in there at 94, 95. The hitters, they say, the scouts that sit in the stands that clock the pitches say that the ball has come back over 130, 140 miles an hour. Thank God the ball has not come unraveled. You can definitely put a flat spot in the ball when a guy hits it real hard or squares it up, as we say. But to bring the hide completely off, that would be a chore for you two men. I'm sure you could find something with bring the hide off of.
Oh, we're going to have to investigate this one.
Back at home base, Adam and Jamie plan to test this myth by firing up the air cannon once again. We've already seen that a mere 7.5 psi was enough to send a ball rocketing at 80 miles an hour.
Oh.
That's the hit!
Obviously, that's not fast enough to knock the hide off. So they load a fresh ball and double the air pressure.
Adam, I'm actually at 15 psi.
3, 2.
At 15 psi, the cannon spits that ball out at 170 miles an hour.
Wow. That's really powerful.
More than double the speed of a Clemens aspirin tablet.
Oh. It went through the blanket.
But the hide still hasn't hightailed it. How about 40 psi?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
The ball cannoned into the static bat at 200 miles per hour, almost twice as fast as the quickest major league pitch ever recorded. It might be bye-bye bat, but the ball's still not disemboweled.
So the fastest pitch ever recorded is 103 miles an hour. We've got this puppy up to 200 miles an hour. At that speed, it was snapping our bats like twigs, and it still is totally intact.
Well, it's obvious to me that knocking the hide off a ball is way beyond the capability of a human pitcher or batter.
We just gonna leave it there? What do we do now?
Of course not. We've got the rig. Let's open it wide up and see what we can get out of it.
That's just what you were gonna do after we all left anyway, weren't you?
Of course.
All right, let's do that.
They're going full power, 150 PSI. Can that unveil a ball's innards?
The cannon that we're using to fire this baseball was originally created to fire a cannonball, like a 6-pound cannonball. Now we're firing a baseball that weighs, I don't know, 8 ounces or thereabouts. So there's every possibility that this ball could get up into, hundreds and hundreds of miles per hour.
Given what happened last time, there's no point putting a bat in front of that.
That's close enough.
Instead, Jamie lays a length of aluminum pipe in the ball's path.
This is extremely dangerous, but I want to see what this puppy can do.
The rig is pressurized to 150 PSI, almost 4 times the air pressure used in the last test. We're locked and loaded. It's time to take cover.
You can man the switch. Everybody back here.
Everybody in the bag.
With the Scaredy Cat crew safe behind the ballistics panel, Adam triggers the timer.
5, 4, 3, 2.
That's no longer a ball, it's a bullet.
Yeah! That is beautiful! You knocked the skin off the ball.
This is actually what it would take to do that myth.
Right. Absolutely. I want to find the hide.
Okay.
That ball's been peeled like an orange.
I don't know about you, but I don't think that a batter could do that.
This thing was traveling at 437 miles per hour by my math. I don't think there's anyone that can pitch that fast.
That's 4 times as fast as a really good pitcher, or more than that. So that means myth busted.
Swing batter! Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah, how was it working with Roger Clemens?
It was unbelievable.
All right, well, let's tally up the final score. Cork bat?
Busted.
How about humid balls?
Definitely plausible.
Knocking the hide off a ball?
Totally busted. We had to turn this thing into a bullet before we got anything.
How'd slide go?
It's confirmed. It's definitely faster to slide into a base than to run.
Yeah, who knew? There's actually a lot more to baseball than you might think.
Yeah, I think sports is going to continue to provide a fertile myth-busting ground in the future.
Great, because there's nothing that we're better at than organized sports, right?
See how good we are?